Well, I guess it's that time of year where people do, I guess, the state of the channel or end of year reviews or overviews or I don't know, best hits or worst losses or however they want to handle the year. And I really don't think that's something that we, the John 1911 Armory, we really qualify for. That's not really something I was thinking that, people would really be interested in. But then I was started thinking about it. We have a lot going on around here, and I'm usually answering the same emails or private messages or, kind of questions, comments on various social media platforms. And so this is probably actually a good time to maybe go ahead and give you guys a state of how things are going. Obviously, 2020 is best year ever, right? We've all been surviving the pandemic or trying to survive. There's obviously been a lot of people out there that have had some tragedies in their families, and with them, we send our prayers. It's been very difficult on the country, and obviously we hope, really for the world actually, and we hope and pray, for you out there and in our lives here that maybe 2021 we can get this pandemic behind us. And without wanting to toot our horn too much, it's been extremely busy. It's been extremely hectic, but and I realize there are a lot of people out there that have been going through quite a bit, and so we really haven't been able to share it too much. But 2020 has been a pretty interesting year for us. So not all great, but most of it pretty good. Things are moving in a direction that I think are lining up for our interests, and it's not something I've really been wanting to lean in with as far as public statements, but it's definitely, without a doubt, if you were to just look at kind of where we are, where we've been, and where we want to go, we're on the right track. So it's been, 2020's been a challenging year, but it's also been exciting. So for those that are relatively new, maybe they just found us within the past maybe a few months, few weeks, or few days, we'll go ahead and start from the beginning. So 2020, the biggest thing that happened to us was the John 1911 Armory moved. Kind of happened suddenly. It was a huge move, a lot of construction, a lot of logistics to handle, also while keeping everything operational and trying to function in a year when everybody has to social distance, and then you've got all these people who have children, then they can't go to work because their kids are at home. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here. Everybody knows all the stuff that's been going on. If you don't have children, you certainly probably work or know somebody who does work with, and it's been a zoo. So even people that have been healthy, their schedules have been limited, and we've been trying to deal with that, with also trying to take care of the move. And we're still practically dealing with a fair amount of the moving. Some stuff, I've been forced to do it, when there's nobody here. So, working on stuff at night, like I'm actually filming this about 9:00 in the evening. So the building's kind of quiet and it's a good time to do it. And, I can get some stuff done. I can, hammer on some things, drill on some things, and nobody really cares because it's not that big of a deal. So we've had a big move, and, that's been a good thing. So obviously, those of you who've been around a long time, you've noticed that our backgrounds and our scenery has changed, because one of the things with this unexpected move was it did enable us to decide, well, if we're going to start having a public face to the John 1911 Armory and the John 1911 entity, maybe we should reconstruct some areas to make them camera friendly. And so, for example, this area was designed specifically to be camera friendly. It's light and bright and did all this, and it's just a lot better. Hopefully you've noticed it. Not saying we compete with any of the big boys out there, but it is something that we worked very hard for in 2020, and hopefully it'll pay dividends in the future. With that, John 1911 has been putting out more content than ever. And the thanks for that obviously goes to our contributors, myself and Freeze. This has also been, I would say, the first full year that we've had Danny on board with the podcast, and the podcast is going swimmingly. If you haven't found the John 1911 podcast, obviously you can, find it on our website or search on wherever you listen to podcasts. We cover everything from firearms to pop culture to politics. It's not just shooting guns and having fun. There's a little bit more to it. And so Danny brings a fair amount to the table as far as some depth and breadth of knowledge and perspective as our resident former dirty politician. So also, Officer Mike and Doc have been contributing much more, and I've been very happy with that. And I know many of you have been as well. Either you like their technical expertise or you like their experience. And I'm fairly confident you're going to be seeing more from them in 2021. So that is definitely a good thing. Now, obviously, we have to get to the challenges. 2020 has been full of challenges, and our life over here has been no different than your life at home. And not to beat a dead horse, but the first thing with the challenges would be moving the armory. As I've already stated, that's been a significant, time suck as far as logistics and operations, but we've managed to pull it off. And I think now we're better than ever. Our facilities are much better. We have more ability to film outside. We have more ability to film inside. We have more. This facility was constructed with you, the viewer, in mind, and so I think that's a good thing. It was a lot of hard work, but we were able to pull it off. Another big problem with 2020 has obviously been dealing with scheduling groups on our ranges. Primarily, it's either people we know or they're law enforcement agencies that, we allow to use our ranges. And with the COVID situation, and it's not unwarranted, but a lot of police departments and city and town agencies have been, frankly, freaked out. And the last thing they want to do is they want to have a bunch of cops together coughing on each other, catching the cooties. So they've been trying to do, as groups, our ranges haven't really had too many groups, but we've had people coming through personally or privately or ones and twos. And so, we've been getting I'd say about half of them through. Not as many as I would have liked, but obviously the motivated guys want to shoot and they come out and, but dealing with individuals on onesies and twosies has been more of a time suck, and that is cascaded down with other projects for 2020. So people are getting their trigger time that want to shoot on our ranges, but it has been taking more of our time to get that all to function. So successes. 2020, obviously we've had a fair amount of successes and a few projects I put some bookends on, and we've had some developments and some things that I feel like maybe some of you may want to know. So for those of you that are new here, and as I've already kind of said, we do own our own shooting facility. We have our own rifle ranges. We started from the bottom, now we're here. I mean, we had a patch of dirt when some of this started, and we brought in a bunch of heavy equipment and a bunch of contractors, and it's been, now I think about it, it's been pretty crazy, because this year was COVID, and then the year of the construction was the wettest year on record. It's like, what a great time to build a giant ass gun range. So the range situation right now, we have a pit, is what we call the pit. It's our kind of our catch-all, do-all range. You can shoot across at 50 yards. It's graveled and bermed, and it's got steel plates and falling plate racks and all that. That pit is basically done. We've declared that done. There's always upgrades or facility or, accoutrements to add to it, but that's basically done. The rifle range, we are fully functional at 600, and we can fake 7. Considering kind of where we are right now, I made a decision during 2020 that I wasn't going to push out, because we've cleared space on our ranges to push out to a theoretical 900 yard, 1,000 yard range, definitely 900. And with everything going on, I've decided for right now, we're gonna hold the ground we've got. I've got a 600. You can literally run out there, drop down and shoot 600, and you don't have to do anything. You want to shoot 700, we got to fudge it a little bit, but I can get guys to 700. That's pretty good. Not saying we won't try to push out in the future. The joke around here is I'm kind of like the Roman Empire. I'm always looking to expand and do different things. So, for those of you that maybe were holding out, hoping that we would have a 1,000-yard range, I wouldn't write it off completely, but it's probably not going to happen in 2021. So, website and social media growth. So let's start with the website. So if you're watching this video, you could be consuming it on a myriad of different outlets. You could be on Instagram television. You could be on Facebook. You could be on YouTube. You could be on our website. You could be on Vimeo, which is our web hosting service. You're not going to be on Twitter because we abandoned Twitter. We also made the decision in 2020 to abandon Twitter, and I think that has paid off in spades. However, the website growth has been very interesting. The primary focus for us, social media-wise, has always been the John1911.com website. Some people who are experts in the field don't necessarily think that's the wisest move. Everybody wants to, their argument is, be big on Facebook, be big on YouTube, that's your area, but I don't like building houses on rented ground, and we've all been through that, and if you're watching this video, you understand as well as I do that we are not an industry that can count on someplace like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram to be the future. So we focus on the website. We post articles on the website. We try to post something every day. It's an article or a video or some kind of content or whatever it is on the website. We will subsequently have link outs from other social media platforms, kind of drive people to the website or remind you there is a website. So if you consume us on YouTube and we disappear one day, just remember John1911.com. No worries. We would just fire up a second YouTube channel or a second Facebook. We wouldn't even appeal it because there's really we don't feel that that's really the future. But the website, get back to the website, has been growing very well. I've been very happy. And those of you who I told you, if you leave comments on the website, if you have questions, no matter how old the post is, you leave a comment on that website, you want a question answered, or you need some interaction over a subject, we zoom right in there and we take care of it. The website is home base for us. It will always be home base for us. And I encourage all of you to get in the habit of going to our website. Most of you, probably still consume most of your content for all your content creators through YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. I'm not judging. I get it. But, I'm going to give you the plug for the website, John1911.com, JOHN1911.com. Go to there if you can. With that being said, YouTube's been very interesting. We just throw stuff up on YouTube. We're not trying to... our YouTube channel is not big at all. Obviously, if you're looking at this, I think there's 1,400 people on YouTube, which is subscribers, which is fine. Actually, I think that's fantastic because we just post stuff up there anyway. We're not looking at trends. We're not looking at keywords. We're not trying to see what is what and maybe try to drive stuff with an algorithm or clickbaity titles. And we just document what we do. If we have a video, we throw it up on YouTube, just like we throw it up on every other place. And if you want to watch it, fantastic. And a fair amount of you have been. 1,400 subscribers isn't a lot of people, but when you remember that we basically lived between 200 and 400 subscribers for years without even trying, and all of a sudden, every day now, I'm noticing more and more people are, subscribing through YouTube. It is fun. It can be seductive. I'm not going to get sucked into the YouTube trap. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Consider subscribing. I think it's fun. We love having you. Just understand that this probably won't be around forever, but thank you. 2020 has been great for that. So also in 2020, I guess I can say this has been the year of the 1911. Now, some of you might throw your hands up in the air and be like, what the hell are you talking about, that old gun? Some of you might be throwing your hands up in the air and saying, shit, dog, I mean, we've never stopped being 1911. And, the website's John1911. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm more speaking about myself. So I am a dyed-in-the-wool 1911 guy. I carried a 1911 on the street for many years. Have done quite a bit of goofy, crazy, stuff I really don't want to talk about with the 1911, up to and including pistol whipping somebody. But, hey, I'll steal a gun, the gun was fine. And around 2012, I started to move away from the 1911. And the primary reason, I think, looking back on it, why I did was magazine capacity and the 45 caliber round. I was trying to keep up with people that I was working with or training with, and they all shot Wonder 9s, and the 9mm is a very flat shooting round. It's a soft recoil, and I'm trying to draw and keep and win and run times commensurate with those guys. And the reality is a 230 grain 45 caliber bullet, it's just my recoil impulse when I'm fighting between each shot, I could never catch these guys. I mean, I did great. Like my presentations, I'm pretty proud of how I ran a 45 1911. I've got no regrets on that. But the reality is the 45 was kind of holding me back, and so it was time to maybe go into, one of the more modern service pistols. Then 2020 happened. Now, 2020 is, I will also call the year of the 1911, because what has happened is there has been a noticeable, unpredicted sea change within the law enforcement and SWAT and CCW communities in this country in regards to the 1911. In particular, 1911s are now, some reports from some manufacturers, they will tell you, high-end 1911 manufacturers, that half or more than half of all the 1911s that they sell are 9mm. In the double stack, high capacity 2011, 1911 round, they're almost basically all 9mm. Even the 40's gone away. And what's happened is you've seen from various groups efforts to basically fix and address the 9mm 1911 magazine problems. And it's really kind of come from three directions. Obviously, the STI Staccato company. If you are probably under the age of 25, you probably don't know that the 2011, as it was understood, the bane of that gun was the magazine. They were $100 a piece, and if you dropped one of them, even doing a reload, that magazine could be done. It's hand tuned, hand fitted, and it was a mess. And it's not really something that worked for a duty or service gun. Okay. Then also on the single stack front, you've had more of a move and research by other companies, specifically Wilson Combat. They have put a lot of money and effort and time, blood, sweat, and tears, I would imagine, getting the single stack 9mm 1911 guns to work. And I know this because back before I made the switch from 45 to the Wonder 9s, I bought a Colt 9mm 1911 single stack and tried to make the jump that way, and it was a dumpster fire. It was terrible. I sold that gun. I kind of wish I had it now. It'd be good just to have a prop to tell the story. But back to the subject, the modern single stack 9mm 1911, they run like scalded dogs, and it's amazing to see now. You've got the ergonomics of the 1911, the slimness of the 1911 for larger guys like myself that can carry that single stack gun, even CCW it. That thing pays off. And then from the third aspect, you've got the STIs, you've got the single stacks, and then you've got companies. Well, the only one I can really think of is Wilson Combat again. They have done a very good job with their approach to the 2011 double stack 9mm 1911 problem, and they have built a new gun from the ground up that doesn't use the 45 ACP footprint magazine that kind of holds the 2011 back. What Wilson has done is they basically took my belief is a Walther PPQ magazine, magazine two body, and adapted that, built a new frame around that magazine, which makes it smaller, and it is designed for 9mm, and the whole gun is built from the ground up to run 9. It also means it fits people's hands better, and it's just a very interesting gun and very interesting approach to the double stack high capacity 9mm 1911. And so you're seeing a move from a lot of professionals. If they can carry a Glock 17, but if they're gun guys and they're shooters and they're pistoleros, and everyone knows that the 1911 brings a lot to the table for those kinds of people. Those people tend to be SWAT officers or gun guys at police departments or law enforcement agencies. If they get a chance, they start gravitating towards back to that gun, and that has caused a renaissance in the 9mm 1911. So obviously, I was like, well, I should probably get back in that as well. So I went and did some research, and I'm now back running 1911s, 9mm. I'm running the Wilson EDC X9. Then I have a single stack that we keep as my backup gun to that, and it even works with the holster. So it's kind of like a Glock, bunches of holsters, tons of accessories, lots of aftermarket support. It's not like going to a whole new gun and waiting for people to make stuff. So 2020 has been the year of the 1911. So other successes for 2020, the ZB26 project. Now, hold your horses. I'm not saying we have the ZB26 project. The ZB26 is not here, but I have been in communication with the 07 who has been rebuilding it, and I believe he's led me to believe that this gun is basically, hopefully, going to be ready for prime time soon. He was wanting to get it to me a few weeks ago, but I know he was busy, and I'm just like, look, it's been 2 years. What's another couple weeks? Get it running. It's fine. It's the holidays. We went back into crazy ass lockdowns here in Ohio. Hopefully we'll see that maybe first quarter 2021, which many of you will definitely appreciate because it's a neat gun. It's a milsurp gun, but this ZB26, for those of you that don't know, is a Chinese ZB26. And so this gun is actually converted to run 7.62x39, and it uses AK magazines top feed. So top feed like a Bren gun, but it uses AK mags and fires a 3.9 round. Neat gun. Not very common in the US, and that's why 2 years to get one, hopefully that's a success. That'll be coming soon. And, more on that to come. Okay, now let's talk about 2021. What is on the plate for what we're looking to do in 2021? Well, number one, hopefully for you and me, the pandemic will be behind us. Hopefully the vaccines work, both rounds or however it works, or the deep freeze vaccine doesn't turn us on to lizard people. So I would hope that 2021 is the year that we all maybe appreciate our health, appreciate the ability to do things and travel and spend time with each other and time with your families, maybe time at work, maybe time away from home and your kids. For the moms out there, I understand. So that's the first thing for 2021. The next thing that I'm hoping for 2021 is we get back into some long range shooting. As I said earlier in this update, we have a 700-yard rifle range, and it's got steel targets on it full time. It has paper target stands up at various ranges. You haven't really seen too much. There has been long-range shooting, obviously, but we haven't been able to film a lot of it, and I haven't been doing that much long-range shooting this year because of the move and the coordination and the schedule and everything else, keeping all this running. Something has to give. My long-range shooting has had to give, and so we haven't been able to do as much content. I'm hoping 2021 will be able to rectify that. I'll have much more precision rifle stuff up. Obviously the Blazers, the R8, the Tactical 2, some of the custom stuff we've had done, the barrels we've had done, custom barrels. There are some custom magazine projects we've been working on with an outside vendor. That has also been delayed, but it is being worked on. So, lots to potentially talk about there in 2021. Also, to kind of harp back onto the ZB26, as you can see behind me, this is a section of our reference collection. It's mostly military surplus guns, some of them some commercial guns, but we have these guns for research, for manual of arms training. Sometimes we just buy them because we like them and they're cool. And if what daddy wants, daddy gets. Hopefully the plan is in 2021 that you will see more reference collection guns shot for content on our social media. You'll see rifles shot out at distance. Maybe you'll see a bunch of handguns shot more on the timer, in the pits, falling plate racks, maybe some drills, guns that maybe even not necessarily would be optimal for that. That's why we have the 1911s. But it's fun to be able to, maybe do some of that, make some content. And so we're hoping to maybe give you guys more of that, because I know there's a lot of military surplus collectors out there. And I know there's a lot of people that are interested in these types of weapons, but they become so expensive, it's prohibitive to, do it on your own. So specifically, I'm going to give a shout out to 2 weapons. I'm going to box myself into a corner on this. And I hope these 2 weapons see significant use in 2021. The first one would be the Swedish Mauser sniper. I can't remember. I don't even know where it's. It's probably right behind me. Swedish sniper. It's in 6.5 Swede. It has is it MB42 or M40, M41, I can't remember what it's called. If you know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments below. That's a neat gun. I like Mauser actions. I prefer the Winchester 70 Mauser over, say, the Remington 700. I know, blasphemy, but that gotta be me. I'm looking to possibly shoot that with some level of skill on our ranges in 2021. So I'm obviously gonna, I'm gonna baby the gun if it's raining or if it's snowing. We're not going to do anything goofy with that gun. We're going to take care of it, but I would like to shoot it. And it's got a correct base. It's got a correct scope. I don't know if that gun needs a cheek piece, or there is a cheek piece for that gun. I'll have to look and see if you can get one for that. And I like to do some video and content with that just to see what the legendary 6.5 Swede can do, especially considering how popular 6.5 Creedmoor has become in the U.S. The second gun from the Milsurp reference collection that I would like to box myself into a corner on, fingers crossed, do some more stuff with, is the SIG 5.56. We have one of the older SIG 5.56s that were produced domestically in the U.S. It's unfired, and it's got a fair amount of, accoutrements and parts, and, we've got tons of magazines for it. I think we have a bayonet for it, a bayonet mount, and all that kinds of stuff. Throw a red dot on that gun. And there is a vendor here in Cincinnati that at least used to make a aftermarket trigger for that gun. And I would like to get that, put in that gun, and run it. So maybe, hopefully, in 2021, you'll see more of the SIG 5.56. So now let's get into what I would call this aspirational 2021 stuff. This is like, well, it's nice to have. I plan on doing it, but if stuff has to start to get cut, this is the stuff that's going to be cut. There's been a fair amount of interest in hunting on our property, which isn't a surprise. Most of the cops that we know are hunters. It's just kind of how it works. Gun guys tend to be hunters. And, I'm kind of a baby hunter. I mean, I'm not against hunting. I like to hunt. I like to do more hunting. And actually, I'm encouraging more hunting for 2021. So hopefully in this year, you'll see a lot more hunting videos, deer hunting, possibly turkey hunting. Hoping, fingers crossed, maybe some nighttime predator, night vision hunting as well. Everybody's got suppressors, and we have huge coyote problems out there. And it would be kind of neat to maybe even try to get some equipment to see if we couldn't film some of that and have it not look like, a Blair Witch Project video or something. So I don't know, that's a goal. Second thing is, I guess, aspirational. We are going to be flushing out more targets, more challenging targets on the rifle range. We have dedicated targets at set distances for various goals or skills or uses. And, those targets are fairly, human kill zone man-sized target. And I've come to realize that, in 2021, we have a lot of very good shooters, especially our snipers, and they need some more challenging targets. And so I've already tried to order some stuff from Superior Ideas Targets down there in Florida. We basically buy almost all of our targets from them. And they've got some small little diamonds and, smaller targets that we can hang. And I'm going to put those all over the property. And that's the goal for 2021. Then just kind of some random, guys get their dope, get their training time in, it's in their logs, the teams or the people, they achieved what they want to achieve. And now it's like, hey, can you hit that little diamond at this unknown range in this tree line? Can you even find it? So that kind of stuff, that's a goal of 2021. Shouldn't be that hard to do. So, it is what it is. Another goal, aspirational, I'm not going to commit to this one, but maybe 2021 might be the year that I get that cool car that I've been talking about. So Freeze knows this, and guys and people, and people in my life have known me a long time, but I've always been a sports car person. I do not have a sports car right now, and I've been kind of looking at maybe getting something fun again. Like debating a Porsche or a Shelby Cobra replica, or maybe like a Gen 2 Viper. Various people in my universe have strong opinions on all of those cars. Like, for example, Officer Marky basically is like, if you're going to be running around beating on these cars, you need to get a Porsche and not get these other ones because they break. And, I think he's got a point. So as much as it pains me, maybe Porsche is winning. But you never know. Maybe maybe two. I don't know. Maybe a nice Porsche and a used Gen 2 Viper that's, they're not that much money. I don't know. Maybe you'll see some car content. I don't know. I know car stuff is real big on the YouTube, and I don't know if that would draw traffic to our website. That's actually I would have to decide, for the John1911 website, if we started doing some car stuff, would I even put it on the John1911 website? Probably would. It's who we are. I'm not going to hide it. Probably driving a cool car to the range to shoot. I mean, why hide that? It's guns and cars. We're not going to pretend we're not gun people. And if advertisers or whatever they like to do on YouTube, they don't like it, they can just kiss my ass. So I guess the final one is going to be aspirational. Would be merchandising. Obviously, many of you have been around a long time. Remember the tactical T-shirts days? That was us. We did a bunch of shirts. We did a bunch of we did some special runs for police departments and for fire departments. We did fundraisers for veterans, individuals, or organizations. For example, we did a big Chris Kyle memorial shirt, which is very successful. And what a lot of people, I guess, they don't know or they don't really appreciate is, back in the tactical T-shirts days, we made all those shirts. We made them. We made them here in this city. And it was a huge pain in the ass. And we were gun guys who were running a T-shirt company. And while that was fun, the priority had to be other things. And so while I'm not opposed to maybe going back into merchandising under the John1911 banner, I haven't really decided what that's going to look like. I would probably try to farm it out through a third-party vendor or an outside vendor, and maybe see if they could do fulfillment. Obviously, it'd have to be stuff made to our standards. We made shirts. We kind of know how it works. That's a goal. It's a distant goal. It may not happen in 2021 because there'd be a fair amount of. We'd probably have to stand up a second website to support that, but. If you or know somebody out there who is in the fulfillment type business and you think they would like to be a part of a relaunch on merchandising for John1911 / tactical T-shirts, primarily John1911, feel free to give them our contact information, send them my way. We're glad to talk to them. Maybe we can figure it out. My number one concern is we've spent a fair amount of time building up the John1911 stuff for the public consumption, and I don't want all of a sudden to drop T-shirts locally, or T-shirts made in-house, or merchandising made in-house, and have that crush everybody around here, and then the other stuff suffers. I've decided I don't want to be in a t-shirt business anymore. If someone wants to make merchandise for us, we want to talk to you about it. So if you're still watching this video, I don't know why you would, end of year 2020 state of the website, video. It's been a great year. We'd like to thank every one of you who have been a part of it and decided to join us and follow us. We're flattered, and it's been exciting. It's been fun. It hasn't really been work, but it has been I would say fulfilling and satisfying with our efforts. And so I guess this will wrap up the state of the website video for 2020 and going into 2021. If you want to see any pictures or stories or links of anything we discuss, like our ranges or our guns or our politics or the podcast, go to our website, John1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody be safe on New Year's Eve. Don't spend all your money in one place. Remember, bail is 10%. See you in 2021.